Welcome to another episode of It's All About Films. So, in today's episode, I'm so excited. I'm going to talk about Bones. Okay, welcome to 2005. I'm not too late, I think. I'm a little bit late, yes, as this TV series aired in 2005, but it finished just 2.5 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago actually. Anyway, let me uncover my microphone. It doesn't matter because it was here for 12 years, which means that it's amazing. This is a 43-minute format. If you count like a short TV series, that's 24 seasons, not 12, because 43 minutes usually, that's 20 minutes per Big Bang Theory or whatever. So I'm absolutely in love with that because it's available on Amazon Prime Video. Go watch it. And I want to talk to you about a little bit about the whole series. So during the lockdown, maybe you're bored, and I know that you know Bones. I'm pretty sure you do know Bones, but I'm gonna tell you like a little bit of the secrets behind the scenes about the cast, about some few spoilers, but not much. I want to tell you what I love about it, so it's also my review. And actually like I'm doing the honors because I just loved all the producers and actors, and I think the show overall is absolutely amazing. So I just want to, it's also my thank you to everybody who produced this and made this happen. So I actually haven't seen all the seasons, so I think I am at the beginning of season 8, because season 7 was pretty short, so I felt like usually it's like more than 20 episodes, and season 7 it was like I think 13, and I was just like, whoa, it's season 8, like what the hell. So I'm right now at season 8, and well, there's 5 seasons to go. I mean, hello. So yes, so there are a lot of things that I don't know about this TV series because I didn't watch it till the end. Of course, I spoiled myself to all sorts of spoilers because I just couldn't bear the idea, like just waiting for finally Dr. Brennan and Agent Booth be together, so I completely found all the spoilers right from the beginning. Anyway, if you haven't watched it till the end, don't worry about the spoilers, you know, because you have no idea how it got there. You can just watch it anyway. And I know that Brennan and Booth will get married in the end. They have like 2 kids, I think, and so on. But let's go back and let's start from the beginning. Bones TV series is created by Hart Hansen, and if you didn't know, it's a true story based on the life of real anthropologist Katie Reichts. I hope I can pronounce it correctly. So she was, and she still is, a forensic anthropologist. Basically, she's also the writer. So she's the author of crime books, and basically the producer, or actually Hart Hansen, read all those books, and he decided like, I'm gonna create a crime TV show. Well done to Hart. You can find books by Katie Reichts on Amazon or anywhere else, you know, but I haven't actually read anything. So if you have read her books, if you know who that is, then leave the comments, right? So I want to know your opinion on these books. If it reminds you the TV series, or if it's completely different, and how much of the truth is there. Like, the books are science fiction as well, but how much they took from those books and put it into a TV show. I would be interested in that. 12 seasons, 246 episodes, like wow, 246 episodes, and each is 43 minutes long. I mean, wow, that's so many movies, I can't even count it. It aired in 2005, stopped in 2017. Everything was shot in Los Angeles. Big surprise. Even though the whole series is located science fictionally in Washington DC, of course. And 2 episodes in season 4 were shot in London and Oxford. For real. Actually, I had to skip those. I didn't skip those episodes. I skipped 1.5 of it because it was I don't want to say horrible, you know, but I live in London. And Dr. Brennan and Agent Booth went to London to discover some kind of a skeleton or whatever, and basically Agent Booth is like a typical American. He's very patriotic, so when he came to London it was like he hated everything about it, and I think this was the way of Americans making jokes about British, which I didn't really like. So I had to skip the part 2 because I didn't enjoy the part 1. I enjoyed, you know, the streets of London and all of that, but Agent Booth was very annoyed by the British culture and everything, so he offended British tea, and I didn't like those episodes. Maybe you will, I don't know. So that's okay. And now, first season of this series, that's why it's so successful, because the first season of this series had, when it aired for the first time, it had 8.20 I think million of viewers, which is pretty incredible. What happens with TV series, it's you have like season 1, okay, you have some hype about it, you have millions of viewers, then you have season 2, it grows even bigger, season 3 is kind of like I don't know, season 4, and it's like it's going down usually. But with this TV series, because it's so brilliantly written, basically it just went up. And also because Dr. Brennan and Agent Booth were still not together, and everybody wanted to see them together, and they were not together. And actually, let's get to... Okay, no, I'm not gonna spoil you yet. Okay, step by step. Okay, so there are 2 storylines, right? It usually happens with crime TV series and any other series, but I like this. It's just perfectly written, I think. So basically you have the crime solving, and it's very interesting, like the bones and funny stories about it, and kind of like really dark humor sometimes, which I absolutely love. Irony, sarcasm, every character is so different, like it's incredible. So there's a number 1, like solving crimes, obviously that's one storyline, and then the second storyline are of course relationships between the colleagues, between Dr. Brennan and Agent Booth, because they are completely in love but they don't want to admit it, etc, etc. We go to that. So I didn't introduce... Okay, let me introduce the characters in case you have no idea. Okay, so there is something that I didn't know before. So the whole series, because when I was a kid, I watched it with the dubbing, right? So it was in English, but in our TV it was in Slovak. The whole series is called Bones, but in Slovak, like Agent Booth called Dr. Brennan, like he calls her Bones. So that's the series. Of course, in English, you know that it's the series about her. It's also the bones as the bones, but it's mostly about her, Dr. Temperance Brennan. That's why Bones. But when you translate it from English, so because it didn't make sense, because bones are not bones in Slovak language, so we got it like different translation of nickname Bones and different translation of Bones as Bones. So it didn't fit. Right, so Agent Booth called her Bones, which in English makes sense, but in Slovak it didn't make sense. So I didn't know like it's actually about her. So I started watching on Amazon Prime, and I watched it in English, and I'm like, oh my god, the whole series is called Bones, and she's called Bones. Like it's just her. The whole series, it's her, you know, like it's also her nickname and it's also Bones. Genius. Anyway, do subscribe to this channel, comment what do you think about Bones. And right, so we have Dr. Temperance Brennan, which is true, real character, basically based on a real character, Katie Reich. And we have Dr. Temperance Brennan, played by Emily Deschanel. Amazing name, right? Deschanel, nice. And she's an anthropologist, and she's working with FBI solving crimes, and especially with Agent Booth, which is a special FBI agent, former sniper, and he's Dr. Brennan is like, she's a scientist like all the way, so she doesn't understand irony, she doesn't understand metaphors, she doesn't understand love or religion and so on. And it's a complete opposite of Agent Booth. He's a Christian, he loves sarcasm, he uses metaphors, he's very sensitive, and Dr. Brennan is like, when they go together, like announce the death of somebody's brother or whatever, and she was just like, he would say, I'm really sorry for your loss, we found your brother dead this morning, and so on, and she would just start saying, like, to the family, she would just say she would just say like, we found his head, which was cut in 105 pieces. We found his head 5 meters from the body, which is, and he would be just like, what the heck? Bones, what the hell are you doing? Like, shut up. And she just doesn't understand, you know, that it's inappropriate. And he kind of like teaches her that, right? So her social skills are 0. So this is really funny, and the way Emily Deschanel played this character, like, is amazing. And basically, like, she's a freaking superhero woman. Like, she can take care of herself, like, she's gonna beat your ass. And she's smart, and she's also writing books in the actual TV series, right? So Temperance Brennan is also a very successful author, and she's rich because she got money from millions of sold of books. And Agent Booth is pretty poor, like, you know, like, he doesn't have much money, so he's always like careful about that. And she's just like, she doesn't understand money problems, you know. So it's really interesting, complete two opposite people, you know, are learning from each other and teaching each other different stuff. So this is really genius, I think. Alright, so let me give you some spoilers. The love story uncovers pretty early, but the pilot episode starts with something that you don't understand. It's obvious that something happened before. That makes it, you know, interesting because you don't know. And the producers uncovered that in episode 100, when they literally created the episode of going back. So now the pilot makes sense. So, and it was in the season 5, episode 16. So the producers created, you know, the backstory of the pilot, which is absolutely genius. Again, like, it was incredible. Like, all of a sudden, I just wanted to go and see the pilot again because now it makes sense. So by season 5, these two are still not together, but every season it's like they get closer to each other, and first, like, they date other people, and then kind of like they stop dating and they are just not together, but not with anyone else. And you can see like the jealousy if somebody is offering like going for a date or whatever, and it's really like you can see that both have feelings, but nobody is going to say anything. So it's really interesting. So about episode in this episode where we go back to the pilot, at the end of this episode, finally Agent Booth tells Brennan that he completely loves her, and he wants relationship with her, and he wants to give this relationship a chance. Of course, Dr. Brennan, she's not ready. She doesn't believe in love, although she feels love for him. It's a very moving scene, like heartbreaking, and she refuses him, and she says that she's not able to sacrifice the life she leads now for irrational love, right? Because love doesn't make sense to her. It's just chemicals together, and it's not gonna last, and it's just for sexual she's called it intercourse. So she declines, and he told her Agent Boo told her he needs to move on then, and she said like, okay, you have to do it. So we go on, and of course it pissed me off. And then the series ends that they all decide to go different ways, and Agent Booth decides to go back to the army for 1 year. Dr. Brennan goes for a mission on some islands to study some skeletons or whatever for a year, and the whole lab goes away for a year. And they, you know, Dr. Brennan and Agent Booth, they say goodbyes at the airport, which is also moving. And he says like, in a year we meet here, and you know, it's very heartbreaking. They don't even kiss. They kissed before, so don't worry, like they kissed seasons before, so they didn't even kiss or whatever, like they're not together, okay. And they left. And then the season 6, I think, was it? No, season 5. No, 6, sorry. Yes, season 6 starts. And Agent Booth is freaking having a girlfriend, and guess what? He's in love with her completely. And Dr. Brennan finds out, and she becomes their friend. I mean, hello. Okay, I mean, I think she's happy for him, but sometimes I think like she would like to be her. So I think right now she's like in the beginning of season 6, like she can see Booth and his girlfriend, I forgot the name. And they are together, and she sees them all the time, and I think she started understanding like this is what she wants. And in episode 9 of season 6, Dr. Brennan finds a victim, and she kind of have this, not like hallucination, but kind of like she sees herself in this victim. And it kind of like, you know, very successful surgeon, and nobody said she's missing and so on. And Brennan kind of started seeing her in this person, and she decided she doesn't want to have this kind of life when she's alone, and like life is too short. And at the end of this episode, she tells Booth that she's in love with him and she wants them to be together. And Booth says, I'm sorry, I'm in love with somebody else now, and I told you I'm gonna move on. And she started crying, and I'm like, oh. So we still have like 6 seasons and they're still not together. I mean, okay. So what happens then? The end of season 6, something happens, and it makes Agent Booth and Dr. Brennan spend the night in his apartment because he's worried about her, because there is a killer that wants to kill them all. So she spends the night at his apartment, and something happens, of course. And there is season 7 start. I think the end of season 6 is the announcement that Brennan is pregnant with Agent Booth. After that one night, yeah, right, okay. So season 7 starts in a way that they're like, you know, they're like a couple, because they are together, and Agent Booth is very happy about the kid. He's not with that bitch anymore, so he's very happy about it, right? So they kind of like, Dr. Brennan is pregnant, and he's there for her, and they try to find a place, and they kind of have arguments, of course, and it gets interesting. But I also forgot to say, during the season 6, Dr. Brennan is changing, and I think like when she finally realized the love, and she wants love, and she kind of has to change a little bit. So she changed, like she started laughing more, being funny, friendly, and kind of like more socialized. And I think it was too much, because she was like going out of the character, and that was the point when I wanted to stop watching, because I felt like it's not really her. I know she's changing and everybody's changing, but I felt like maybe this is not exactly the way it should be, you know? So I kind of got annoyed, because I felt like it's never gonna be like it was in the previous seasons, like when she was really like scientific and strict, assertive, funny, not even know how, anti-social. And I kind of like stopped watching, and then I went back to it, and then the season 7, I think they realized that, the producers realized that, so she's back at her bitch mode, and love it. So she's pregnant, etc, etc, and then she gives birth, and now they're officially like a couple, and still not married. So this is the season 7, and something major happens at the end, of course. In season 8 I'm right now. It starts really good. I mean, it's the funny like it was, and a few spoilers that I have no idea how it's gonna happen, because when I google like when they're gonna be together, I saw that they get married in season 9 episode 6, and I wanted to say, yeah, basically two, not main characters, but two almost main characters will die, as long as I know. Actually, one of the main ones, later on he becomes the main, so he's gonna die. So that's one spoiler that I know for myself. And the other one is when I was googling some info about Bones, and there was written, will Dr. Hodgins walk again? And I'm like, oh my god, what did happen to him? Oh my god, he's paralyzed or what? And I have no idea. Like, these two things I know. Somebody's gonna die. I'm not gonna tell you Dr. Hodgins has some kind of accident or whatever. He can't walk, and they get married. So that's what I know. But still, I'm gonna watch it because every episode is just freaking brilliant and amazing, and I love it. I absolutely love this series, and again, well done to everybody. And let me know in the comment, what do you think about Bones? Do you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you like it? Do you like it? Why not? Why yes? And just, yeah, let's talk about it. And if you like this video, give it a like, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's talk more movies and music together. So I'm gonna do some work, and then I'm gonna watch Bones.